And here we are with a video I didn't think I would be filming anytime soon. It is now Friday, 2 in the morning, and I am 6 hours away from home. I'm very far from home. As you can see in the background, I'm at a hotel. And since the first video that I filmed about Evie, and I'm gonna try my best to not cry because I've been crying a lot, I'm 393 miles away from home, 6 hours up north in Davis, California, for context. It took me 8 hours to drive here. And I'm gonna try my best to get through this video without crying. And I also wanna share what also happened with my best friend's dog because it all happened at the same time. So let's go back to Abby getting treated in Las Vegas. And a part of me is upset at myself for the decisions I made about keeping her in Las Vegas at that hospital, when I felt like if her kidney levels were so bad that I should have took her to a dialysis center versus trying to have her on IV drip for 3 days to flush out her system. I think those were critical. Also, when they sent her home with pancreatitis medication over the weekend, I think that was also a critical time where she should have already been in a dialysis center. And I say that because the lab work that was drawn today after 3 days worth of IV, the results came back hours later. I knew by lunchtime that it was really bad. It went from 201, her BUN, to 219. And I knew that after I discharged her and I was on my way driving 8 hours to Davis, California. And I think what makes me upset about that situation is that if they were able to get back to me about today's lab work hours later, why didn't they get back to me Saturday before the hospital closed for the day and tell me the lab results? Because basically we took her home that day with all this pancreatitis medication, and then all day Sunday, and then she wasn't doing well, and then finally Monday morning I took her back in because she was not getting any better and I was still waiting on the lab results. I think had I known her lab results the same day, like today, I could have acted sooner, and maybe we could have started flushing out her system from Saturday. I could have brought her back Saturday, Sunday, Monday, right? And then I would be driving to the dialysis center Monday night instead of Thursday night. Like those 3 days of waiting for the labs, I don't know why I never found out the same day, like today, were really critical in saving Abby, because that's just the reality of it. I think those are really crucial because she was still alert over the weekend and she did eat a little bit of mom's cooking at home. So definitely things could have been done over the weekend had we started sooner. That I can say for sure. I feel pretty strong about that. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, she was on IV drip. Mom, grandma, and I were pretty hardcore team. I got there 6 in the morning. In fact, I got there before 6 when they opened to stand in line because it's a walk-in basis to get her motivated to eat. So I want to tell my mom and my grandma, like I did in the previous video, thank you for supporting me with Abby and for loving her. And really, like, through the almost 11 years of Abby's life, my mom and my grandma had supported me with Abby, not only loving her but taking care of her while I travel and giving her the love and attention that I could never ever even think of asking for more because it was just everything Abby wanted and needed and more. So please leave a comment for my grandma and my mom, because they literally were my whole support system with Abby and raising her. And also when it was time to say our goodbyes. You know, the thing about this whole putting your dog down is so hard, and I'm very happy that I'm not crying right now, because I've been crying the last few hours. But I want to get through this video to say what's in my heart, and also to share with the channel, because I know you guys love Abby so much. You guys watch the channels and care about Abby just as much as any of her in real life family members do. And I owe this video to you guys to give a follow-up and also to let you know what's going on. I already know the situation I'm in without like having time pass by. But when I had to put my 2 dogs down, and if you watch the channel, you would have known that I had 2 pit bulls in Hawaii, Princess and Sensi. Sensi lived the longest till 18 years old. Princess passed away a few years before that. They were my dogs from high school. And when I left Hawaii to move to California, they were to the point where I felt like they were too old to travel. So my grandparents already was taking them in as their own. So I said, you know what? They can live in Hawaii and I'll come home and visit them. And it gives my grandparents a purpose and reason to get up every day and have some kind of routine, because my grandparents really took care of them, especially my grandpa. And when I had to go home to put them down on 2 separate points of my life, I knew and had time mentally to prepare to say goodbye, because they were sick for a while, to the point where the quality of life was not there anymore, and I had to fly home on a red eye immediately and drop my whole schedule to catch the next flight out to come home to put them down. So I had time to process all of this with them. And then also coming home back to California, I had Abby waiting for me and giving me all the love and attention to mend my heart from those 2 tragic losses in my life. And I've always had a dog my whole life, and now Julian, as of today, has no dog, and I have no dog waiting at home to greet me and to help me heal my heart and be a therapy dog for me with Abby's passing. So I know I will get another dog, but I just don't know when. I want to say sometime this year. Also, I know I do plan on traveling in August for my birthday, but at the same time, I don't know if my heart will be able to last that long without having a dog, because you guys watch the channels, my whole life revolves around Abby. And from working out, I mean, like, Abby was always my partner. And if you're a dog mom or dad, you can definitely relate. But I think that's gonna be hard, because it hasn't settled in yet that Abby's gone, because I'm always on a go and she's always either with my mom or my grandma. So for me, it feels like, oh, I'm traveling and Abby's in Vegas with my mom and I'm gonna see her in a couple of days. That's kind of how a part of me feels. But at the same time, it's like kind of like very surreal for me to not have her around. And you guys see the channel, Abby has a lot of clothes. Between clothes that I buy and my mom buys, she at least has 50 pairs of pullovers and dresses, and she has all these collars and leashes and harnesses. And I feel like, I think I want to get another girl Yorkie. And I say that because my mom had 2 Yorkies. If you guys watch the channels, Winter and Star, and they're no longer with us, and they lived in Hawaii. And then of course now my brother Petty in Las Vegas is also a Yorkie. So, and also my mom had a rescue prior to Winter and Star that was a Yorkie. So my heart is gravitating towards getting another girl Yorkie. So let's see if and when that happens, but I feel like I am going to want to get a dog before the summer ends, and of course before the year ends. So that's kind of what I see myself getting into the future, just because I know it's going to be hard for me to heal my heart with Ebby's passing with no dog to help me with that grieving period in my life. So that's kind of where I stand with what I would want to do next. Obviously, like, I haven't been home in Santa Monica with Ebby for a week or so now, since she's last been in Santa Monica. So we're driving back home to Santa Monica today whenever I get up, and make that 6-hour trek down south. And I'm gonna have to go home to see all of Ebby's things, and then, like, you know, you guys see my Santa Monica routine, like going to the beach with no Ebby to work out. I think it's gonna be very hard for me to be in the Santa Monica studio and not see her outside sunbathing and, you know, going on walks. I mean, like, I really don't have to say anything about Ebby because I share everything about Ebby on the channel, and you guys see the life that we've had together. So you know our routine, and I think that's gonna be very hard for me once I go home. And a part of me wanted to drive home tonight, but also, like, I'm taking care of my grandma too, which you might hear her sleeping here. But she's also stage 5 kidney failure, so I'm very cautious about my grandma and her health, so I wanted her to rest. So she's sleeping now and got all of her medications, so I'm happy about that. And then for me, I was up before 6 in the morning to be at the hospital in Las Vegas to check on Ebby, because today was the day to see where she stands. And all these previous days I was getting up before 6 to be there at the hospital to start the day with her when they open, and then going again one more time to get her to eat before I go to work. So I haven't been sleeping much, and I've never been to this part of the Bay Area or Northern California, so I might try to see, maybe to get my mind off of Ebby, that I may go and visit a plant nursery in the area, because I've never been to this city before, just to get my mind off of it. But I'm just going to sleep and wake up and see how I feel. And also, like, I'm like 14 minutes almost into this video and I've not cried, but I talked to my best friend, and I've talked to my new best friend in Sweden about everything going on with me, and I think that's helping me to stay strong for this video and not cry. So speaking of my best friend, while I was in Hawaii, and sorry about my grandma in the background, while I was in Hawaii, the problem was that my best friend's dog Lily, which you guys see on the vlog channel, the golden retriever, was sick when I went home, and that was the same time Ebby was sick. I think Lily started getting sick a couple days earlier before I got to Hawaii, and he was really going through what I'm going through right now, trying to get her to eat. She was too weak to get up on her own. He had to carry her with like a harness to get her up because she's such a large dog. And then the next day when I came back to California, he got referred out to get an ultrasound, and then he found out that Lily had cancer and that it was spreading everywhere, and there was nothing that they could do for Lily but to bring her home and that she can be comfortable and pass it home. So that was all going down the same time this was going down with Ebby and me. So I think that's really, I don't know, the timing is really awkward that Lily and Ebby was sick at the same time. Lily passed away at home on her own yesterday, and then, you know, a day later I put Ebby down. So I just think that it's very odd that they were sick at the same time and, you know, passed away, crossed the rainbow, like a day apart from each other. So that is something that is also heavy on my heart, because I really love Lily. You guys see her on the vlogs whenever I go home, and I've been best friends with my best friend for so long that Lily's also a part of my life. And he was grieving yesterday, and I was trying to be there for him while Abby was sick, and it was just a whole mess of a week between Lily and Abby. So I think that's really strange that that just all happened at the same time. And you know, I was telling my best friend that you're lucky that you were able to have Lily pass at home on her own, because I didn't have that with Princess Sensi and Abby. I had to physically carry them into the car, drive them down, carry them in the building, and then agree and sign paperwork. Through this time right now with my best friend and his dog's passing and Abby's passing all at the same time, and he was struggling with her at home with her illness, and I was struggling with Abby and her illness. But that is kind of what I want to say in today's video, because I don't want to say too much before I start crying, because I am still kind of in this point where I still don't believe it's true and that it happened. And having to say yes, I don't want to be selfish, and I did everything I could, because I could see Abby's condition driving the 8 hours, that it was not good. But in my dog mom's heart, and in being Abby's mom, I wanted to not regret that I didn't try everything, and that I tried. I drove 8 hours to a hospital that had a dialysis center for chronic kidney disease, and I drove 8 hours with her, and I even had to stop 4 hours into the drive to give her fluid sub-Q. And that was a whole nother thing, like having to do that midway drive and seeing her like that was also very hard for me. But also having to say goodbye to her as she got put down was very hard for me, because I just played back in my mind just the other day. She just was at the beach working out with me the weekend before I went home to Hawaii. Like 2 days before I went to Hawaii, we went to the beach. I got her a new harness and leash, and we were doing our thing just like we normally do. And you know, the next day at the market, Sunday, she did her quack quack at the market. She was mommy's helper, sitting by my feet on my little workbench at the market like she always do. She just was doing her job like nothing was wrong with her health. And that just kills me inside, knowing that those days were probably also very critical to save her. But like the doctors say, they'll just mask it themselves until they can't mask themselves anymore, and you see them physically in pain or suffering. So I think that's all I'm gonna say for now, because you can hear my grandma sleeping in the background, and it's now 2:15 in the morning, and I didn't eat all day, and I did an 8-hour drive, and then having to put Abby down, and I didn't shower. I really need to take care of myself, and I think I'll do another video on the vlog channel maybe in a couple of days when it really sinks in me, when I'm back home in Santa Monica, to share a few more thoughts about Abby. But I'm not gonna share any moments of Abby's last few days on the channel, because I now fast forward and I had to put her down. I don't feel like it's appropriate to share. And I did film a few clips of visiting her at the hospital in Las Vegas, just to have it, and if Abby did recover it, I could share her story. But I think I will just leave that in private, and it'll just be a memory between me, my mom, and my grandma. And also, I wanted to come on here to just give you guys an update, because I know all of you who left comments in the first video were very concerned and love Abby a lot. And I think the best thing you can do is just continue to support the channels. I'm going to try my best to keep doing what I do, because I know it's probably going to help me with the healing process if I keep vlogging and keep editing and uploading daily videos. But if you don't see a video from me, it's probably because I just was not in the right mindset to open up my laptop and edit and upload a video. But you will eventually see Brazil content in the next few videos that I start editing, which will probably come up maybe next week or so, if I have it in me to put myself back into work mode. And I do want to give myself some time to process all of this. But before I like jump in the shower and try to get some sleep, I wanted to film this video so that you guys have an update on what happened and what went down with Abby and the last few days. And I think it'll definitely sink in on the 6-hour drive back home to Santa Monica without her, and having to go home and open up the studio and she's not running in and asking for a carrot. The plan with her is I need to look at the brochure that the hospital gave me on all of the cremation centers and figure out which one will be able to bring her back to Santa Monica. And then they also, the hospital is going to get a paw print from Abby, which Sensi and Princess did not get paw prints, I don't think. I'm not sure. Maybe Sensi did. I don't remember. But I do have Abby's hair with me, which I didn't get from Sensi and Princess because they're short hair pit bulls. But Abby has beautiful steel blue Yorkie hair. And since she didn't get groomed for a while, you guys know how I love her short hair, I asked to have some of her hair, and I'm going to put it in a bottle for a keepsake, and that I'll always have it with me. And then maybe I can have, you know, some of it like either like on a necklace or something that she can always travel with me wherever I go. But tonight was definitely very hard for me to see Abby in the condition she was in. She started to get an ulcer this morning when we went to go see her at the hospital, which she didn't have yesterday, on her tongue, and it just started getting worse and worse to the point where her tongue was black. And right before we put her down, she couldn't control her body and was chewing on her tongue. So at that point I was like, okay, it's time. Like, this is not fair for Abby, that it's time to her to get put down, because she just, there was no response from her. And the doctor thinks that there was probably blood clots spreading and forming throughout her body, which made her not neurologically respond. And that no matter what they did to try to save her with aggressive treatment, I think if she did end up getting on dialysis, her tongue in the condition that it would have to have been cut off. And would she have made it through dialysis? It's very tough to say, because it was in her kidneys were in very severe shape. So I mean, the situation with her tongue, like my mom and I were talking, like that is no, like in any way a good quality of life if she pulled through this. And like her body is so tiny, and all the stress she was going through, and her blood pressure was going up, and she wasn't responsive anymore, that this was the best option for her to have her not suffer anymore. So I think I'm gonna wrap up the video here so that you guys can get the video and know what's going on, and I can move on with repairing my heart and processing all of this. But I think it's also like gonna help me with also my best friend and his dog passing yesterday. Like, I think we can like get through this together. But again, I think I'm definitely going to get a dog very soon, a girl Yorkie perhaps, and because we're just a Yorkie family, and I have all these girl clothes and everything, and I think it would be nice that I can pass down Abby's things to her new future sister. So that is gonna wrap up today's video. I'm very proud of myself for not crying as much as I thought I would be. I think after talking to my best friend and processing all of this over the phone with him, it really helped me to be strong, to hit record and not fall to pieces on this video. But I'm pretty sure when I wake up in the morning and it's really gonna hit me, and I'll probably like, you know, go through my stages of grief. So if you don't see me on the internet, I probably will take a break from posting on Instagram, if anything on my resin account, because I do want to get back into the markets next week so that I can, you know, help myself be busy and not spiral down into depression. So I will try to get myself in the market. So if anything, I'll post on my resin Instagram account because that needs to still be active. But as far as for like my main account, I think I'm just gonna do a post about Abby, and then I'm gonna take a break from posting anything until a couple weeks from now to give myself some time to heal. And I will see how I feel like mentally about still being able to upload daily videos and vlog every day with all of this going on right now. So that is gonna wrap up today's video. I love Abby so much, and I just wish that I could have done more for her, and I'm so sorry for letting her down, but I need to find it in me to accept that I did do everything I could possibly do, and that is going to help me to move on in a better place than thinking that it's my fault, because that's the way how I feel right now, and I don't want to feel that way, but that's definitely how I feel right now. So I will do another updated video on my thoughts and feelings of Abby's passing in a couple of days when I'm back in Santa Monica, and let this settle in because it's so fresh. It just happened like an hour and a half ago, and I'm filming this video. And also, if you wanna remember Abby in any way, just refer back to the vlog channel and watch the videos of her life, because that's one thing I love about my channels, is that I capture so many priceless moments that I'll never be able to get back. But because I daily vlog my life and my life with Abby, I have all of these memories that will always be, and I'll be able to look back at it and just remember the good times I had with Abby. So I'm gonna go now so you don't hear my grandma sleeping in the background, and I can shower and reset myself and try. So that is gonna be it. It is 2:30 in the morning. I am gonna jump in the shower and I'll hop on to do my thoughts about Abby's passing in a couple of days when I'm in Santa Monica. I think when it really settles in that she's not around, and I think talking about it will help me heal, because I know that there's so many of you out there that has gone through it, and this is now my third time going through it, and I just want to be able to find a place in my heart to be okay, to wake up every day and continue doing what I do without spiraling into depression, because mental health is a real thing, and I want to be able to keep my mental health in check. So that's it, guys. I have nothing else to say. I really hate to put this video up, and never thought I would put such a video up on the channel. It's definitely has not synced in yet because it's only been like an hour and a half since I put her down. And it's been a crazy day with her and a crazy week and a half or so of trying to save Ebby. And that's it. I'll hit record in a couple of days when this has settled in and I'm back in Santa Monica. Good night.